an accredited college. Now, drugstores have an important place in our health services, and they can be very useful if you just remember to follow your doctor's advice, not expect the drugs to prescribe for you, and to check your labels carefully, and be mighty skeptical about anything that claims to be a cure-all or is advertised to do more than the label says it will. A great part of our job, of course, is ensuring that foods are pure and wholesome and made under sanitary conditions and so forth. But since you're writing about quacks and nostrums, we'll stay with medical things. Now, this is a sample taken from a batch of coal tar dye. It's used in certain cosmetics. Now, our job is to make sure that it's one of the certifiable dyes, recognized as safe for use, and taken from a certifiable batch. Now, these are samples taken from manufacturers' batches of insulin and antibiotic drugs. We test them for purity and potency before they're sold. Of course, new drugs are always coming along, and we make sure that they've been tested and found to be safe before they're put on the market.
And if I ever get wind of a character like Oluka Kahumana again, I won't lose any time reporting him.
Good. Tell your mother the wisest thing is to see a family doctor, not rely on something sold by a high-powered lecturer.
I'll tell her, and thanks. But, Mom, listen.
Now, I'm sure that those government people are experts at their work. But ever since I've been taking Mr. Kahumana's tea, I've felt simply wonderful. Why, I never knew that a remedy could be so effective. Why, I haven't been having my usual attacks at all. Now, why is that if it isn't because of Mr. Kahumana's tea?
Well, you've got to admit that your mother's been looking and feeling wonderful since she started taking the tea. Larry, maybe those government people don't really know. I mean, I know they're sincere and all that, but, well, you can see the difference.
Oh, for Pete's sake. I just don't get it, Doctor. Every time I ask her how she's feeling, it's fine, just fine. And yet the FDA said the stuff is absolutely no good. And she does seem to be feeling better the past few weeks. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It's possible, Larry, that your mother wasn't really sick at all. Many of the people that quacks claim to have cured weren't sick in the first place. Sometimes, of course, some of the symptoms disappear by themselves for a while. The pain and the disturbance are gone temporarily, and the patient decides that he's been cured until the symptoms reappear. But we have the assurance of the FDA that the tea is harmless, which is something to be thankful for. We'll just have to wait to see if your mother's symptoms return. Well, how's the investigation coming along? What about quacks and nostrums?
Oh, fine, Doctor. I had no idea we were such suckers about our health. And I didn't know so much was being done to protect us against quacks and fake medicine. Look at these pamphlets the Better Business Bureau sent me.
Oh. Yes, they do a fine job, too.
I found out that they have over 100 offices handling all kinds of complaints. When they get a report on a quack or fake medicine or device, they're right in there quick.
And don't forget the American Medical Association. Its Bureau of Investigation has the most complete file in existence of such things as quacks and nostrums. They act as sort of a clearinghouse for information of that kind. Well, what's next on the agenda?
The Federal Trade Commission, tomorrow afternoon. I've learned that it's easy to get reliable information about health products and services, but I'd like to know about health information that comes to us from advertising.
That's what we call commercial health information. It's a mighty big business. Millions of dollars are spent to advertise health products, vitamin pills, nerve pills, and all kinds of pills and other medicines for all kinds of aches and pains. You see, sometimes the advertising can be deceptive. And if the product is sold or advertised in interstate commerce, that's where the Federal Trade Commission comes in. In some cases, if the advertising is inaccurate for things like cosmetics, deodorants, and hair tonics and so forth, people might use the product in ways that could injure their health.
Inaccurate? Aren't they actually lying?
Well, some ads don't really make any claims at all. They just seem to. Tricky wording is what does it. Some advertisers deal in glittering generalities. Others use the plain folks line of approach. Then there's the splashy bandwagon type of ad. But many deal in out-and-out false claims.
What action do you take when you find that false or deceptive advertising has been used?
Well, the commission issues a complaint against them, and if the charge is approved, orders them to stop the advertising. If they want to protest the order, or if they violate it, the FTC is ready to fight the case in the courts.
I see. Better get some of this down.
But I think you're going overboard on this report.
Well, Dr. Evans doesn't think so. And he ought to know. Mom? Oh, Mom?
Larry, would you please come here right away?
Ellen, you'll find Dr. Evans' number on the desk. Tell him to get over here as fast as he can. What is it, Doctor?
I can't be sure till we get her to the hospital and take some x-rays, but I strongly suspect that it's gallbladder trouble. It's easy to see how she was fooled into thinking that fake medicine would cure her. First those bilious attacks, then a period of apparent normalcy. It's fairly typical. But I wouldn't worry, Larry. She'll be back on her feet before long, really cured this time. Well, I'll get an ambulance and phone the hospital to make arrangements.
Hi, how's the convalescent?
Oh, I'm just fine. Hello, Helen, dear. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
Good.
You're looking better every day.
Oh, thank you.
I don't want to rub it in, but I thought you'd like to see what's happened to your Mr. Kahumana. He's been indicted by the grand jury for violating the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act.
Oh. When I think of all the men and women who could be seriously ill going to a man like that, a man who's only interested in their money, can't be sorry that he's going to jail. People who should go to a doctor could go on believing in a fake like him until it was too late.
You were lucky.
Oh, but he seemed so honest and sincere.